Okay, perfect. Hopefully. Is that better? Can you hear me when I come back here? Mr. Daryl G, my MC man. Hi, Denise. Hi, Chandler. Yay. All right. Well, hopefully you can hear and it's all good there, because as I move back, I'm not going to be able to see these helpful little notes. So thank you for sharing that. And again, if you're just tuning in, thank you for joining in with this shift that we had. And with love, Heather, thank you so much for being open to this shift. Good morning. Being open to this shift to continue to still share practice and dive into, again, our theme for practice this morning is grounding into the now. Just embodying the grounding of within our own being while there's so much other chaos around us or in our minds, perhaps with others or within ourselves. And again, what better way to do that than to just add this change, this shift of the morning. So, okay, well, thank you. So I'm going to head back and let's get this practice started. So, hi T-Roy. Alrighty. Okay, so if you've previously received the emails and the notes from With Love DC, the Botanical Gardens, or myself in practice, the practice theme of today is to ground into the now. And this practice is intended to be a restorative practice. So as we've been sharing, props that we will be utilizing in practice are a block. If you do not have a block, grab some folded up sheets or maybe some books, maybe, some blankets, whatever helps with you. And then also a pillow or pillows, bolsters, or anything really cushy that we can settle in and allow our shapes to be released into with ease, to invite in deeper breathing, to soften, to release, and to ground us. Again, our practice of grounding into the now is about this chaos that surrounds us and how we can continue to embody calm or remember to reconnect to it once we too get a little uneasy or shaky. So again, thank you all for joining. It's difficult to see some of your comments, but I will for sure go through them, read them, reply to them after practice. And for now, let us enjoy, embody, and absorb, release to ground into the now. So with that being said, let us prop ourselves up on something that helps the hips to lift. Again, books or pillows, blankets, rolled up towels, but just allow the hips to lift, the thighs to soften so the knees can begin to melt down toward the earth. Allow those sit bones to settle in. Allow the vertebrae to stack one on top of the other, inviting the shoulders to melt down away from the ears. Allow the arms to become heavy and soft at the same time. Continuing with our grounding theme, grounding into our being. Let us place the palms down on tops of our thighs, our knees. Let us gently tuck the chin to lift the crown, the top of the head, upward. To truly feel this rooting down of our sit bones into the earth, into the surface beneath us as we lengthen up through the spine, all the way to rise out the crown of the head. And as we begin and continue at the same time to turn our gaze inward, I invite you to blink your eyes closed. Our gaze turned inward, exploring our own internal weather. What may be shifting or moving, what may be heavy or what may feel light. Without attachment or judgment, just simply explore. And let us tune into our own unique breath. Feeling the inhalations expanding your belly, opening your ribs and slightly lifting the heart. And on your intentional exhales, feel the softening. Invite the release of any tension, whether it may be in your physical being, softening the knees, the thighs, perhaps breathing space and ease into the shoulders or the neck, perhaps releasing the jaws from each other and the tongue releases from the roof of your mouth. Maybe the cheeks begin to melt downward. The space between your eyebrows softens. Exploring your physical being first, this outer shell. And perhaps where you can feel that holding on, that resistance or tension, just big deep breaths in and out. To send sweet, softening breaths and ease to those spaces. And perhaps exploring a bit deeper into the mind, body. As the mind brings in some chatter or questions or noticing, can we be grateful for those thoughts for coming in, but again, without attachment, just allowing them to go. To float by like clouds in the sky. Returning to the breath, intentional inhalations, filling up through the belly, expanding the ribs, slightly lifting the heart. And deep intentional exhalations, again releasing physical, mental blockages. And perhaps as we continue to dive deeper into our emotional body as we move into and through our practice and our journey on the mat. Perhaps feelings may and will come up. Can we again be aware of them, breathing into and through them, being grateful to feel, to be aware of what arises in our physical, mental, and emotional body. Again, as we move into and through our practice, with awareness of the shift in our energetic being, in our space, surrounding, just noticing. And I invite you to return back to your intentional inhales and exhalations. On those sweet, delicious inhales, filling up with this fresh, clean oxygen, delivering this liveliness to our cells. Expanding it, surrounding us. And again, on our deep, intentional exhales, allow and invite in the softening with gratitude, with love. And I invite you to bring your palms together at heart center in Anjali Mudra, prayer mudra. Gently bowing the head towards your fingertips. Honoring yourself for making and taking this time for you. This self-care, this nourishment. As we continue to awaken this consciousness and ground into the present moment, right here, right now. I invite you to take a deep intentional inhalation, open mouth, exhale, let it go, sigh it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Rubbing the palms of our hands together, creating a little bit of heat. Let us place the palms over top of our eye sockets and gently blink them back open, bringing in again this light on the outside world, our surroundings, perhaps noticing maybe a little more presence, a little bit more calm and grounding, just whatever it is that you notice. And then whatever prop you may be sitting on, let us shift and move that forward and up off to the side as we lengthen our legs in front of us. Coming up off of our feet if we were sitting on them, or shifting a sit bone side to side and just shaking the legs out, maybe giving them a little love. And then let us shift and switch the crossing of our legs if that is comfortable for you, or just shifting and sitting in a different kind of way than when we were first beginning our practice. And And I invite you throughout our practice and our flow to embody and become aware of what it is that you are grateful for in this now, before, during, and after practice. As the With Love community, we have been sharing that each week, what it is that we are grateful for. So let us continue this practice of gratitude and mindfulness. And I invite you to share that at any time you feel called to, in the now, during practice, or after. We would love to hear from you. And in the now, let us continue our practice and begin to move with breath a little bit more. So let us inhale the arms up high to the sky. And let us exhale the left arm down, right arm up and over as we lift up out of the hip, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift and lengthening through the right side body, and maybe the eye gazes towards our armpit. Maybe it traces up the arm to our extended fingertips. Wherever you are, can you shine your heart a little bit more forward and soften? Continuing to stay connected with those intentional breaths. Navel engaged. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Continue to root through the sit bones. And then exhale. Opposite arm down, lengthening up through our side body. Right shoulder softens. Left shoulder softens away from the ears. Lengthening through the hip and side body. Inhale and exhale. Gaze turns towards the armpit, or maybe traces up along the arm through our energized fingers. Shining our heart a little bit more forward. One more inhale and exhale. From your exhalation, engage the navel, lengthen to the sky. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Allow the arms to come down in front of us. Option to grab a hold of your block or your pillows. Maybe we lower down onto the elbows if we're able. Just continue to embody and ground into your unique shape and being. And whatever that looks like is absolutely perfect and beautiful. Maybe we bring the hands up to allow the forehead to rest. Maybe through our breaths, we can lower down to find our forehead to a block, pillow, cushion, or the floor. Wherever you may breathe, return to that deep intentional inhales and exhales, reminding and remembering those deep breaths. With every exhalation, softening, letting go, breathing and finding length through the spine, the back, the hips, the neck. And then on your next deep exhalation, allow the slow, mindful rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last to rise. Inhale the shoulders up, down, and back as you place the hands next to and behind your hips. Inhale the heart high. Exhale the hips to lift. Breathing in here, breathing into the front body. lifting up, exhaling, squeezing the shoulders back. Option to allow the head and the neck to lower, opening more through the throat. But if that is too much on your neck and on your head, please listen and just come back into where we're supported, where we have our deep intentional inhales and exhalations maintaining throughout our practice. On the next exhalation, slowly lower back down to the sit bones. And once again, let us lengthen our legs out in front of us. Maybe a little shake, a little wiggle, a little love and gratitude. And then shifting the legs to the end of the mat, the edge of the mat. Let us allow and invite our body to lower all the way down. Allow the legs to become hip width apart, a little more, a little less. Again, just listening to you and allowing the feet to flop outwards. Invite the arms to come up overhead. And then bringing the arms to our right side, allow our left arm to come up overhead, lengthening through the side body. Right hand holds the left wrist. And then our feet walk to the right side as well. Option to stay here in a crescent moon in the shape of a banana or a moon, whatever feels called to you. And then maybe we cross the left ankle over the right to get a little bit deeper. And if it's too much, no worries, simply uncross and go back. But let us take a few deep breaths here to continue to open and lengthen through the side body, to breathe in nourishment and ease. All the way down from fingertips to toes on the left side. With every exhalation, inviting and softening as you continue to explore somewhere throughout your physical, mental, emotion, and energetic being. Right here, right now. Let us return to a deep, intentional exhale as we engage our navel, protecting our spine as we shift out of this shape, moving back to an elongated body in the center of our mat. Finding length again in the toes and the arms. Softening here, let us walk the arms to the left side, our opposite side. So our left hand holds our right wrist overhead, finding length, and then our legs walk to the opposite side. Left side body, bringing the right leg up and over the left ankle if that feels good to you, to find more length in the right side body. And again, if it's too much, just simply release it, or perhaps throughout this time here in this shape, shift between the two, honoring and embodying your shape, your breath. Exploring our body, our mind, our energy. Breathing in for a couple more deep, intentional inhales and exhales to soften just a little more. Grateful for this breath that we have on the exhale. Allow and invite ourselves to return back to center. And then bending our knees up, making just a little windshield wiper side to side. Nice and slow, conscious movements, mindful movements. Option to bring your arms up like a cactus, like a T, maybe giving ourselves a little hug, a little love. And then slowly making your way over to one side, either your left and right, whatever feels good to you, and gently making your way back up to a seated shape. Legs out long in front of us. And this time, we're going to place them about mat width apart, or if we're just sitting on the floor, all good, bring them maybe a little bit further apart than your hips. And again, allow the settling in, the rooting into the sit bones, and just allow the feet to flap. And then with your bolsters or your rolled up towels or blankets, pillows nearby, let us bring them in front of us. We'll bring them in closer to our belly, maybe placing them on tops of our thighs. And as we fold into a mindful, slow forward fold, continue to reconnect and to tune into your breath. One of the biggest tools that has truly helped in grounding into the now is to come back to our breath. This sweet, delicious breath that we are blessed to have until it is no longer. So being grateful of this breath, allow ourselves to melt down into this shape. And again, with our head and our neck supported, maybe that looks like bending the elbows and just placing them up on the forehead. I like to place my thumbs right on either side of my nose, right around my third eye, up near in between the eyebrows, and just holding that space. It's really nice if you have a little headache too, a little tension headache, you can press in there, but maybe we stay here, all good. Maybe we walk the elbows down. Maybe we cross and fold. Wherever this shape is for you, I invite you to tune into your breaths and softening with each exhalation. Taking a few moments here to let go. And as thoughts and feels, sensations arise, as they do, as they will, can we breathe into and through, aware with what arises, while returning to our breath and ease. And with those deep, intentional inhales and exhales, tuning into this present moment. On your next exhalation, engage your navel, slowly rise one vertebrae at a time. Allow the head to be the last to rise, and then gently inviting the shoulders up, back and down. Appreciating this openness and this space created. With ease, with mindfulness, let us bring our feet in towards each other, bases of the feet together. Not super close to the body, but just enough away where we can just settle into this shape. And if our hip flexors and our thighs are feeling rather tight and tense, no worries. We can set ourselves up onto one of our towels, pillows, blocks, cushions, or books. If that helps the tailbone and the sit bones to settle back in and to soften through the front of the body. as we move into this forward fold shape here, again with your props of any kind, pillows, blankets, towels, whatever you have found, let us gently and mindfully again soften, ground into our shape as we gently forward fold. Maybe shifting a little side to side to come up and out of the hips a little more. And then allowing the belly and the head to rest. Oh, hi there. I see your sweet little comments and your sweet little hearts. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining. Let us breathe and soften for a few moments, a few breaths here, allowing the head and the neck to rest and be supported on your intentional inhales and exhales. Appreciating these sweet breaths. Inviting in space and ease to the present moment. On your next deep exhalation, engage your navel. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shifting up and out of this shape. Rolling back up, maybe a little wiggle, a little more appreciation of the juiciness in your hips and in your back. And with our hands, let us bring our knees up and in together. And shifting ourselves forward to all fours. Hi there. And here, just maybe taking a little authentic, organic movement, shifting a little side to side, forward, up and back, whatever that feels good to you. Just in your time, allow and invite the right foot to come forward. Allow the left knee to be back, resting onto the ground. And then again, blocks, pillows, cushions coming in front of us to invite the elbows, the hands, the arms down into our lizard pose. Maybe just wiggling a little, shifting side to side, opening up through the hip flexor, through the quad. Inviting in this space and ease, wherever you may be. Again, let us support our head, maybe bringing up our hands to the forehead. just take a few moments to soften here, from the fingertips, through the shoulders, through the back. And if at any time you need to rise back up and then exhale back down, please do so, honoring your shape, your practice in the now. Taking a few deep breaths into this shape, softening, melting down. Inhaling, and then on the next exhalation, slowly begin to rise. Shifting ourselves up, out of this shape. Bringing our right leg up and back, finding all fours again, maybe making any wiggles, flowing through any cat-cows. Anything that helps the spine and hips to open and feel nice as we shift into our opposite side. Now bringing up that left leg, finding length in the back, right leg. Allow the lifting and lengthening up out of the hips and then the slowly folding down. Coming down onto our pillows, blocks, whatever props that you might have here for you for just a few deep breaths in this shape. Perhaps just a little wiggle side to side, settling in. And then softening, allowing the head to rest. Remembering to reconnect with your breath, deep intentional inhales and exhales. A couple more breaths here. And then on your exhalation, slowly rising up. Setting the cushions, the blocks, the props up off to the side. And then bringing back that left leg. Again, a little wiggle, a little shimmy. And then slowly lowering down to our bellies. Elbows can pause here in seal or sphinx pose for a moment with the elbows underneath of the shoulders, shoulders back, heart shines forward. Continuing to feel that opening upward and along through the belly and the hips. Maybe the corners of your mouth go up for a little smile. And then ending here in our Shavasana, our meditation and corpse pose today, we're actually going to be belly down. Here being belly down, really embodying and feeling our breath in and out as it expands through the body. Really tuning into the rhythm of our heartbeat. Let us slowly, mindfully lie down. Placing the hands together or fists together, let us lie our forehead on tops of our hands. Maybe again we take a moment to lift the feet up and wiggle them side to side. And then let us bring the feet down, head down to find stillness. Lying onto our bellies, taking these sweet final moments to pause. And as we pause here on our bellies in this shape, continuing to tune into your breath, intentional inhales, intentional exhalations. Having gratitude for this sweet breath entering your being in this present moment. Tuning in to the sounds and the rhythm of your heartbeat. Once again, exploring this inner landscape. With awareness of the outer world. The sounds, the feelings, the energy around you. Can we be the embodiment of calm in chaos? Of peace in uneasiness? Consistently, I invite you to tune back into your breath, your own breath, this gift that is given unconditionally until it is no longer. Tuning into your own breath, returning to your physical shape, lying here, belly down on the floor. I invite you to bring some movement into wiggling your toes, your ankles, your legs, maybe your hips shifting a little side to side. Maybe rolling the head and neck side to side, lengthening the arms out above. And in your time, I invite you to roll to either your left or your right side. In this fetus shape, the shape of rebirth. To pause here for a moment. To be aware of what came up on your journey through your practice of slowing down, intentional breathing, of releasing to ground into the now, to return, to remember. And as we move up and out of this shape back to a seated shape, whatever feels good to you, I invite you to maintain your eye gaze closed for just a moment longer. I invite you to place your palms together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gently bowing your head. And in reflection, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? Gently bowing the head towards the fingertips, embodying this gratitude. Again, sending love, compassion to yourself for making and taking this time for you. And with so much gratitude and appreciation for you making this shift, this change, this morning's practice, to again trust and embody the flow that change is the only constant. Let us continue to ground into our own being, to ground into the now. And with so much gratitude for you, for all of you, for community, for breath, for presence. I bow and say namaste. So, hi there. Thank you for all of you who continue to stay and join and follow in our practice this morning. Again, thank you for shifting here to Facebook when originally we were supposed to be on Zoom. Thank you, With Love DC, for providing this space and this practice for everybody back home in DC. Thank you, Botanical Gardens, for sponsoring this event for us back home. Thank you, Daryl. And thank you for helping me helping me with the volume earlier. I hope it was okay throughout practice. Yes, incredibly good to shift. Hi, Bridget. Hi, love. It's so sweet to connect and see people kind of come and go throughout practice today. So thank you for joining in the times in which you did. And again, thank you so much for joining in practice this morning on the mat and continuing to embody that real work off of the mat in our daily living. So hopefully those tools and breath and shapes of grounding into the now, our theme of the day, you can continue to take that with you and always can reach out to me and connect with me. And for those of you whom have stayed on for this entire practice, thank you. Enjoy. Much love to all of you. Please remember to share in your comments about what it is that you are grateful for, and we can continue to share them with Love DC community. And yes, ciao for now. Happy Saturday. So much love. Thank you.